It looks like Goten and Trunks finally have some relevancy in Dragon Ball Super as the boys alongside the Universe's new delivery man Monaka, which sounds very weird by the way, are thrown into a loop as they face a very difficult situation with Goku making the save as always trying to get his powers back. Welcome Dragon Ball fans to my official Dragon Ball Super episode 44 review and breakdown entitled The Seal of Planet Potafu, Secrets of the Unleashed Superhuman Water, leading into next week's episode of Dragon Ball Super episode 35. Of course, coming off of Pan's Slice of Life episode, this episode wasn't as soft as last week's. A bit more action occurred in this particular episode. Some would say this episode was filler-like material only because nothing major is happening, but I believe this is much needed build-up, especially leading into future Trunks' return from the future coming up June 12th. Now, before I go any further in this review, guys, a fair warning that this video will contain loads of spoilers, so if you don't want anything spoiled for you, simply fast forward the video, go watch the episode for yourself, come back and let's talk some Dragon Ball Super down in the comments. Don't cry about being spoiled by the thumbnail or any of that because nothing is being said or shown that you guys don't already know. Be sure to also check the description down below for lots of goodies, updates, and contact information to where you guys can interact with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and that way we can talk more Dragon Ball Super. So now, anyways, let's begin the translations of this episode. In case you guys are wondering how I was able to pick up on the dialogue prior to the subs coming out, was translated by none other than Herms98 on Twitter. As always, he provides us with the translations first, so thank you, sir. The subs will be dropping tomorrow, and now I will say that nearing the end of this episode, I got really hype, only because we get to see copy-vegeta and we get to see copy-Goku towards the very end, hinting that there will be a Goku-Vegeta-like battle in next week's episode. Although it's not the real Vegeta, Goku returns as he was training on King Kai's planet during this episode to try to get his ki back. We get to see him make the save, which again, bear in mind, is very interesting, but we start the episode off as usual with Monaka delivering more goods and services to people as he was delivering stuff to Bulma. Now, Bulma wanted to use Monaka as sort of like a test subject, or like, you know, one of those test volunteers for a little project she was working on. I mean, she was one that ordered more of those sweets that Jocko had ordered from her birthday party, and she's having Monaka, you know, help her out with some experiments that because nobody else is around. I mean, Goku's off on King Kai's planet, the boys are out doing their own thing. Vegeta's not around either, so he goes on ahead to do that, and while they're both inside, we see Goten and Trunks, they're flying around, they stumble upon Monaka's spaceship, and they sort of like, they've grown a liking to Monaka, and they were looking to bother him, but of course he wasn't, you know, in the truck. So with that being said, what do? They go on ahead and they break into the poor guy's truck. They're going in the back, they're like, you know, looking for stuff, and Trunks finds like this dagger-like sword, which is pretty cool because, as I said in my review, it hints towards future Trunks returning, because I cannot wait to see how little Trunks and, you know, future Trunks interact in this, because they're gonna have such a unique interaction given the circumstance that, you know, future Trunks and little Trunks have such a different destiny that turned out for themselves. You know, like future Trunks had to fight to survive in his timeline, and, you know, like little Trunks pretty much had everything handed to him. So we get to see that, and Goten, you know, comes across like this inflatable, like, you know, just I don't even know, toy, I guess you could say, and the thing inflates up, and the boys are like stuck in the back. They're just destroying stuff, and Trunks' little sword pokes right through, and Monaka comes back. He takes off, and he doesn't even realize the boys are in the back of the truck, so he goes off into space, and the boys are locked in the back of the truck, and they're stuck there. They don't know what to do. In the meantime, they're cold as hell, and Monaka is actually in the truck, and he decides to listen to a radio program, according to Herms on Twitter, which talked about pants sizes, which is weird, because why in the world is Monaka's the weirdest character, I think, in Dragon Ball history, period. This dude competed in a Universal tournament. He managed to get a huge reward from Beerus. He is now a delivery man, delivering goods and services, alongside with that listening to a radio program that has to talk about pants. It's like, why is he interested so much about pants is unknown to me. He is clearly the biggest clown aside from like Hercule and Yamcha. Yamcha obviously taking the cake here, but I don't know, man. I mean, Monaka's creeping up there, because this dude is literally traveling through space, and he's so in tune with this radio host talking about pants. So they're there. They actually get to the planet because Monaka was scheduled to deliver some goods and services and food and whatever and sweets to Planet Potafu, in which case he does. So he gets to Planet Potafu, and there's like this panda-like ninjutsu, you know, like elderly, you know, character there, and he comes across Monaka and everyone else, and just as they do that, you know, these henchmen, these bad guys sort of arrive, and they try to steal the planet's dormant powers, which is stored in the panda's pacifier, which I'm assuming is the superhuman water-like crystal thingy mabob that they're looking for, or whatever. I mean, because they were after the panda dude for like that little pacifier that contained the dormant power source of the planet. So the bad guys actually find the pacifier as they all engage during the first round of the little scuffle, and when the bad guys obtain the little pacifier thing, it unseals the planet's dormant power, aka the superhuman power, which multiplies one's power 100 times over, which is pretty interesting because that little superhuman water allows you to become, according to what is said, hundreds of times more powerful than, you originally are. So, with that being said, Monaka, Goten, and Trunks are taken hostage. As usual, Monaka's crying, and Bulma finds out that the boys are missing. She's pissed. She calls up Chi-Chi. She's pissed. She's calling for Goku. Goku's not there. Goku's on King Kai's planet. I mean, freaking King Kai's with the monkey. They're trying to like survive Goku's like shenanigans up there because he's literally blasting. He's trying to blast himself to try to get his ki back. Very similar to Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods when he was training up there with himself. And Bulma's like, crap, we need to go out there. We need to find out where our boys are. She tells Jocko, you need to go on ahead and just look for them. Jocko's like, I don't think so. It's a waste of time. And Vegeta's like, no. Wherever you're going, I'm going because that's my son. So Vegeta goes with Jocko to Planet Potafu because according to Jocko, he's looking for like this criminal and stuff, and he's supposed to be on that planet. So maybe they're presuming that they're there. And then as of course when they get there, Jocko, because he's pursuing this criminal, right, who's supposed to be the bad guy attacking Planet Potafu, so they're all assuming that they're all there. So, they get there, and, Bulma's trying to convince Jocko, by threatening to tell the Galactic King how Jocko is not trying to, just abide by orders and, like, stop the criminals and stuff. So Goku's on the planet. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. He's saying that his power is getting back to normal, and King Kai tells him to keep training, and, tells him that, Whis has gone off somewhere, so he can't really, get in contact with him. So we see Jocko and Vegeta arrive, and Jocko recognizes the enemy right away, and Vegeta beats up, Grill's henchman, which is supposed to be the enemy, and that's when things get very interesting. Now, the liquefied, superhuman water thing that was consuming the henchman, they start to consume Vegeta's body, and Vegeta says he lost all his power. Now, this is where it pisses me off, because how in the world is Vegeta, who has been training for years now, who is a technical god, he has Super Saiyan godlike powers, Super Saiyan Blue, he's immensely powerful, how is this dude all of a sudden weak due to this liquefied purple shit gobbling him up, which reforms and mirror copies a image of himself, which actually happens to be another Vegeta. So now we have a liquefied version of Vegeta standing right across him, which again I find very interesting because in next week's episode we're going to get to have Goku versus liquefied Vegeta, but nevertheless, I mean, the overall, like, presentation of this just doesn't make any sense because how was this, purple-like liquid supposed to take all of his powers away? I mean, to me, that doesn't make any sense. But nevertheless, we get to see a little small depiction of Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks being shown as well, which I'm excited for because everyone's going to say, well, the boys aren't really relevant anymore. Who cares about Goten and Trunks? I mean, I think it's very important to know that these boys had an influential role in Dragon Ball Z, so why not have an influential role in, Dragon Ball Super? But I digress. So, Goku comes back apparently, and I think his powers are going to be alright because it just seems like he's getting back into the flow of things, and I think that he's going to be okay as we progress on through with the episodes and stuff. So, we get to see Vegeta. He's pretty much at awe as to what he's seeing. Now, is this copy Vegeta, is this liquefied version of him supposed to be stronger than his original self? We don't know, but what is said here is the fact that, he is supposed to be taking on Goku. Now, before I go any further, guys, shoutouts to Fuckboy Goku on Instagram. Follow him. He is a awesome person, guys. Lots of awesome posts, and he is a very good friend of mine, so I really recommend you guys to go ahead and follow him on Instagram. And if he's watching this, bro, I hope you're alive after suffering all that shit with school, because I feel as if, like, this episode had somewhat of a connection to his life. But needless to say, guys, this episode to me was a little bit more enjoyable than last week's. Although last week's was very cute and very mellowed and down to earth, I prefer this episode over last week's only because there was a bit more action and a bit more going on, whereas opposed to, last week's. Although last week's had more of a understanding to where, they focused more on family and the family aspect, I preferred this episode just a little bit more. Now, Goku versus Copy Vegeta, like, this is going to be interesting because is this going to have an effect as to what's going to happen to Goku's energy, Goku's ki? Is this person going to steal Goku's energy as well and replicate him? That way we're going to see Goku versus Vegeta Copy and Goku Copy. Can you imagine that? Goku fighting himself and he's fighting a Vegeta copy. So Vegeta and Goku versus Vegeta and Goku, like that would be so freaking cool. So again, I mean, I don't understand the continuity as to how this liquefied, you know, substance is supposed to take someone's powers and stuff and make them hundreds of times stronger. Like at first it reminded me of when Majin Buu tried to absorb someone, because it looked awfully similar to like what was going on back then. But nevertheless, guys, I want to know your thoughts on this because in my review, some of you guys seem to be like a little on edge as to what was going on. A couple of you guys were saying that, oh, well, the episode was boring. Just bear in mind, guys, this is all building up to something very awesome on June 12th. One person asked when the Omniverse tournament's going to start. That's going to start after the Trunks saga. And there was one person by the name of Marv Mars who said, last time I came this early, I got a girl pregnant, which is pretty funny. So you guys have some really awesome stuff to say, and I will be reading your comments off in the community reaction video, so I highly suggest for you guys to go on ahead and you know, tune in for that, because I will showcase your comments and your channels in my community reaction, because I need to know what you guys thought about this. Now, my question to you is, did you guys prefer last week's episode or this week's episode? So comment down below, let me know, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you guys are Dragon Ball fans, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, that way you guys don't miss a single Dragon Ball episode or update. If you guys enjoyed, smash that like button, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, tune in for more. Again, this episode, I mean, it wasn't wild, it wasn't crazy, it was very interesting to me, at least, because I kind of had a problem with Vegeta just all of a sudden losing his powers to this, you know, liquefied substance, because once it consumed him and it spat him back out, all of a sudden he's like, oh, well, my powers are gone and stuff. Like, how? Like, who's writing this stuff, you know? I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, well, the entire episode was shit. No, absolutely not. But what I do have a problem with is how that liquefied substance was supposed to just bring someone like Vegeta, you know, just down and just crumbling down and saying, well, I can't do much because my power is gone. Like, what? Like, what the hell happened here? So, does this mean that the copy version of himself is supposed to be stronger than, you know, normal Vegeta? I mean, is Goku going to have a difficult time fighting copy Vegeta next? I mean, ultimately enough, if you think about it, yet another Goku versus Vegeta battle. Technically, even though it's not the real Vegeta, it's still going to be Goku versus Vegeta. So comment down below with your thoughts, guys. Once again, thank you all for watching. Tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Take it easy, guys. Peace.